Thank you very much for joining us. We're here in Marondera with Simba Mhuriro, the director of oursun Energy Zimbabwe.
My name is Simba Mhuriro, as you know. I'm 30 years old. I grew up in Marondera.
Okay.
I still live here. Went to Marondera High, Dickerfold School.
Yeah.
Then moved on to the Mekos to study hotel management, which I did for about 4 years.
Okay.
And then I moved on to Dubai. I worked for companies like Hospitality, Oursun, Southern Sun Hotels. And then pretty much somewhere along the line decided, let me start my own company. About 2010, we started with a company called Oxygen Group. I went to a friend of mine called Janice. Back then I was still in Dubai, still working for Southern Sun Hotels, which later became Hospitality. And we started toying with the idea to say, since I'm in Dubai and the dollarization has come on board, we might see a lot of investment funds going into Zimbabwe. Since I'm already there geographically, what can we do with these guys back in Zimbabwe? So I partnered with a guy called Andy Connolly and a gentleman called Mr. Onam. So for about 3-4 years, we're trying to get these investors to come and take a look at Zimbabwe, mainly in the lines of energy, agriculture, and fast-moving consumer goods. About 2012, I was introduced by a mutual friend to a gentleman called Mr. Dieter Trichler. He's the principal at the Meko Group. And they'd already been doing quite a lot of work in Africa. In South Africa, they were in Malawi, they were doing something in Ghana, Kenya. And for about a year or so, we started exchanging, basically started teaching me what the energy business is, what their company has achieved, and what they see happening in Africa. So that literally got me hooked into solar. So I literally zoned in and said, I have to get these guys to Zimbabwe with me. What we did is we laid out a vision to say between 5 to 10 years, we want to be able to connect 230 megawatts of power plants in Zimbabwe, but do it in bite-sized chunks of between 1 and 5 that are easy to deliver. And so we would be looking to roll out throughout the country with various partners coming in on board as well. So we're not going to do it solely as an oursun exercise. We welcome joint ventures, we welcome investors, private players that want to basically look into the solar industry. Because we believe we're a technical partner, we've got a strong technical partner, and then of course we'll be looking in each region for someone who basically wants to take on solar power as a business. We had a couple of exchanges between obviously Oxygen Africa and Meko Group, and then towards mid-2013 we decided, Zimbabwe is kind of ripe for us to go in there as a company, especially with the electricity deficit and the fact that solar pretty much is your low-hanging fruit. Towards the end of the year, we brought them to Zimbabwe, we met the authorities, met several business prospects, and then in 2014 the company was formed. The authorities basically explained how exactly you need to go about the investment, what are the laws, what are the regulations, what you need to do, and pretty much it's been quite a smooth process so far. I have to admit, without the support of the authorities, I don't think we would be here. We're at the final stages of getting our documentation together. We look to begin construction at the end of this month. End of this month, latest, if things really do not go according to plan, by June we'll have started construction. The initial plan was to actually commission by June, but there had been several delays in the project, nothing too crazy. But definitely before the end of the year, we would have connected the first 5 megawatts. What we have right now are the panels, which we've taken delivery of about 80,000 of them, and then of course we've got about 1 megawatt worth of structures. The other 4 megawatts we look to have it manufactured in Zimbabwe. So we've signed on with William Bain, and we're currently doing the R&D for that at the present moment, because part of what the Meko does is they put as much local content as possible. So as much manufacturing, as much sourcing that can be done locally, as much employment of skilled labor or unskilled that we can source locally, that's what we pretty much utilize. So we really got the core of 9 people. Incidentally, the same guys that helped us unload the containers, we decided to retain them on board, and they will be trained on the assembly of the actual power plant. We're working with Power Speed as well for electrical components that are required locally, your cabling, your transformers. We've asked CSA Enterprises to help as well with sourcing of the transformers as well. So that's pretty much the local component. The only thing that's going to come in are probably the actual inverters, which are in storage at headquarters in Spain, and then they're just waiting to be shipped about 3 weeks before we connect. The first challenge is always trying to convince for example, my 2 other shareholders are very experienced businessmen. They've got a number of companies that they run successfully. It's trying to convince someone to invest in you as an individual. The idea works. If it's solar, if it's agriculture, if it's media, it works. But your idea, does it work? And do you have the tenacity or the perseverance to see it through? In other words, you're not going to just come and say, hey, sir, I want to start a media company. Give me 20,000. What have you put into it that they believe in you? So that was the first challenge.